is In the Know for Wednesday, June 21, the 172nd day of 2023. There are 193 days left in the year. Summer begins today. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We will also give you a chance to win. That'll be coming up later on in the show. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Pedaling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Okay, a little tired.
Yeah, we had a late night. We'll get to that later on in the show. It was well worth it, but out of our normal routine and schedule.
Yes.
Today is the day. The solstice is here.
Yes.
It's the longest daylight day of the year, and here in the Northern Hemisphere. And there's a sky surprise, too. About an hour before the sun sets, face due west, look halfway up in the sky to find the crescent moon, and grab your binoculars. I know you have some.
I do.
Train them on the moon and look to the left and slightly below the crescent, and you should have no problem in picking out Venus, appearing as a bright speck of white light against the deep blue of the daytime sky. And look in the same area once the sun goes down, and you should see Mars as well.
So maybe that's a good activity with the telescope.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
For the girls tonight.
Yeah, so get out, make sure you got good sight lines to the west.
Okay.
And then at sunset, go up to the crescent moon, and then just to the left, and you'll see Venus. Wait a few minutes, you should also see Mars.
Okay.
And also today, you might find, I've already noticed it this morning. So if you stand and face in a southerly direction today, you'll find the sun rises the furthest to your left it's going to rise, and it's going to set furthest to the right that it's going to set.
Okay.
So this, yes, you're right, Dennis, a lot of instructions. But I noticed today there was a sliver of sunlight in the house in a place that I never see at that time of morning.
Okay.
And so it shows you that the sun came up at a slightly different
Was
angle
I
today.
still hitting snooze?
Yeah. yes, you
Okay,
did.
well, I'm
You
going to
did.
need that paper so that I can do that
Yeah,
maybe later.
There it is. I'm presenting you with that
right.
paper. Don't make a copy for Yukon, though. He has to
Okay.
write down his own instructions. and
Okay.
that'll just be that. Now, for your first day of summer, it's not going to feel overly warm. In fact, we're going to see some spotty showers for much of the day throughout the region. Scattered showers will fly into the area from the east this morning, fading to the west during the afternoon hours. We've seen sunshine already this morning. We've seen clouds already this morning, and that will continue throughout the day. It will be drier and warmer into the weekend. We may see some stormy weather by early Monday. So summer begins today. In fact, if you're with us live, it begins in 48 minutes. 78 is the high today, 76 is the high tomorrow, 80, and then we get a little warmer on Saturday and Sunday to 85 and 89. So that's what to look forward to. I, much like many of you, kind of keeping an eye on this submersible issue out in the North Atlantic near the site of the Titanic wreckage. And it feels almost like a Hollywood movie, because we're in this countdown phase where they started with about 96 hours of oxygen on Sunday morning, lost radio contact, lost any communication. They've not been able to be found. Well, now the hours are counting down. As of this time yesterday, they thought they had about 41 hours remaining. Well, they think they could run out of oxygen. If they're still alive, they think they could run out of oxygen tomorrow morning. So it really feels there's a big armada of ships in the area who are trying to do all they can. It's a very complex search, and the unified team is working around the clock. You love the ocean. You love the idea of diving. Are you fascinated with this?
I am. And actually, to be honest, I don't follow a lot of national news. That's just, I have so much going on. But this is one that I have, and it's interesting. I saw a chart that shows the depths that I found very interesting. And if I had thought about it, I would have sent it to Sam prior to the show. But if you can find that, maybe I'll find it a little bit. But it shows the depth. So, like of how deep the humpback whale goes.
Right.
And it gives you perspective. It's very interesting.
So 2 miles deep.
Yes.
So over 10,400 feet deep.
But as a diver, to see that graphic, I mean, I'm a certified diver that I'm certified up to 60 feet. Okay. So when you think about that and try to put it into perspective, it's crazy.
And by the way, if you don't historically dive, like if you're not an experienced diver, 60 feet seems really deep.
Yes, absolutely.
So imagine adding 10,000 feet to that, and it would
yeah.
be. So anyway, we get into these stories, whether it's Baby Jessica or whether it's wells or caves or mines, or anytime people are trapped or they get our attention, and I pray that everyone's okay, but I am prepared to hear the opposite of that, because they did get some promising signs yesterday. They thought they heard some sounds in the search area, some what they believed were human sounds. So that gave them some optimism, but I guess we shouldn't get overly optimistic about it. Anyway, the world continues to follow that, as do we. The Litchfield City Council is considering approving the purchase of a new ladder truck after Fire Chief Tim Duval made the request at Monday night's meeting. He said the one that they currently have is about 35 years old and it struggles to pass inspection on an annual basis. In fact, they've kind of been given a little grace by inspectors on allowing it through, and he conjectures that they would be lucky to pass inspection in January. So it's not like you can just drive down the road and buy one. They don't sit on every corner, so it takes a while for them to spin up, and they're also expensive. So the city council will table the matter, and then they will investigate making the purchase, when to make the purchase. And again, it's a pipeline of sometimes 2 to 3 years if you just order one from scratch. And so it's not a problem they can solve in the next 30 days, but they will continue to look at that, replacing I think it's 63, I think is the engine number that they would be replacing. A 7-year-old child fatally shot a 5-year-old child inside a home in eastern Kentucky. The initial investigation found the shooting reported Monday evening at the home in McKee, and they have deemed it accidental. Life-saving measures were attempted, but the child was pronounced dead at the scene by the Jackson County coroner. An investigation continues. There have been more than 150 unintentional shootings by children in the U.S. so far this year, including 3 others in Kentucky. They have resulted in at least 58 deaths, 101 injuries nationwide so far.
Very sad.
Gun safety is paramount. A man who tried to carjack undercover police officers in Louisville was fatally shot by an LMPD officer. The shooting happened Monday afternoon about 1:30. 2 undercover officers were inside a vehicle and trying to catch a suspect in an unrelated investigation when they were approached by a man in his 20s armed with a gun who attempted to carjack them. One of the officers shot the unidentified man, and both officers provided medical aid. The suspect later died from his injuries at a hospital. The shooting is being investigated by the state police critical incident response team. Yep. Got to be careful when you're perpetrating a crime. It may prove to be deadly action. On today and tomorrow, the Kentucky State Police Commercial Vehicle Enforcement will participate in the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration's Operation Safe Drive. It's a distracted, reckless, impaired visibility enforcement. The campaign targets unsafe driving behavior that often leads to crashes involving passenger cars and commercial vehicles. It complements national efforts to educate all drivers on safely sharing the roads with large trucks. A lot of trucks out there, a lot of vehicular traffic, and a lot of construction in our region. So it proves to be
hazardous.
It's not easy out there. All motorists are reminded, stay out of blind spots, pass safely, don't cut off large vehicles. It takes them longer to stop.
Right.
So if you cut over in front of them, you are creating a hazard for them. And then don't tailgate. So if you can't see them in the mirror, they can't see you. Remember
Right.
that. So that's good advice to remember as we get into the summer driving season. Yeah, I saw a lot of, between, in eastern Grayson County is lane changes and asphalt sections, and
Yes.
it's an adventure. A total of $6.5 million in state grants have been awarded to local governments, fiscal courts, and universities for 76 projects to expand recycling, reduce the use of amount of solid waste going into landfills, and improve the handling of household hazardous waste. The program awards 3 types of grants. The recycling grant provides funds for counties to purchase recycling equipment. The composting grant funds the purchase of equipment to improve composting and promote creative solutions. I don't like compost.
It is a good thing. I know the reasons why you don't care for it, but composting is a good thing.
I was the compost mule
I know.
when I was a kid.
I know.
Take the scraps to the compost pile.
Well-
And there was no nose pin. There was no clothespin for my nose provided.
Well,
It was just
maybe she was trying to toughen you up.
maybe. It probably worked. The Household Hazardous Waste Grant provides funds for counties to conduct annual drop-off events for their citizens to dispose of household chemicals. As you know, and I'm sharing with the audience, I've been watching a lot of Ask This Old House over the last
Yes,
year
you
or so.
have.
And Jen Noir on there, she even shows how to make the proper layering of. Why do you laugh at me?
I love it because I laughed at you like this the other day.
When I mentioned her by
yes,
name?
You just rattle it off like they're your friends. Like I would rattle off my 90-day fiance friends,
They are
right?
my friends. And so she shows the layering. Like here are the
Yes.
layers you should make your compost, and here's how long you should leave layer by layer, and then
Well,
what makes a good compost.
And I'm not knocking on you at all because I do know that my grandparents, they composted. And sometimes it was up to me to take care of that. And I do feel your pain on that. It can be quite smelly.
It's
to say the
very.
least.
I was going to say aromatic.
Well, same difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's,
Pick a word. Yeah.
Ooh. A Lexington-based nursing home company has agreed to shut down 2 Louisville facilities and pay $1 million in federal civil penalties resulting from noncompliance with Medicare rules and regulations. Hill Creek Rehab and Care and St. Matthew's Care and Rehab Center are owned by Medical Rehabilitation Centers, which is headquartered in Lexington. The Kentucky Division of Healthcare performed numerous site visits called surveys of the 2 facilities in September and again in May. These surveys found substantial noncompliance with Medicare rules and regulations, so they are being shut down. Lexington, speaking of, it ranks as the number 2 of best run cities in America. The 2023 Best and Worst Run Cities list is out. A personal financial website, Wallet Hub, released its report, and Louisville's ranked number 42. Lexington was ranked 2. To determine the effectiveness of local leadership, here's how they calculated. They compared 149 of the largest U.S. cities based on their operating efficiency. They use quality services score, which is 36 key performance indicators like financial stability, education, health, safety, economy, infrastructure, and pollution, and Lexington scored very well.
Wow, okay.
They do poorly in the traffic pollution category. Mercy.
Okay.
Lexington's, it's a terrible town to try and navigate. They've got one road, New Circle Road, and everyone
Okay.
tries to use it. Well, they got a few others, but Man of War, etc. Grayson County High School tennis athletes Maddox Powell, Ava Walker, and Emma Walker all performed strongly in a Bowling Green tournament over the weekend. The Kids on the Block Points for Puppets tournament was hosted at Buchanan Park near South Warren High School. Maddox won the 14U division and did not lose a single set. Powell defeated Bryce Moorman 6-1, 6-0 to bring home the title. And Ava Walker finished as runner-up in the 14U division on the girls' side. Emma blew through the competition before falling in the 16U championship match to Paisley Harris from Woodburn. So
Oh, okay.
season never stops. Congratulations to them. And the Reds have now won 10 in a row. They pushed their win streak to 10 with an 8-6 victory over the Rockies. TJ Friel hit a 3-run homer on a 4-hit night. Ellie De La Cruz added a solo shot. The Reds extended their winning streak to 10 games with an 8-6 victory over the Rockies. There was a big chance, another exciting night at Great American Ballpark. So Reds in first place. 10.
Are you unhappy? Happy?
Well, I mean, now I can't let Sam know like I'm happy for the Reds because
Okay.
he acts mean every time the Reds get mentioned. He takes shots at other teams that I like. But
Okay.
So
All right. Well, we'll keep it under
I had
wraps.
sworn off that I wasn't even going to mention them today, but that's unfair to the other Reds fans.
Okay.
One bad apple shouldn't ruin the bunch.
Okay.
We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Our trip to Louisville. We'll tell you about that coming up here on In the Know.
Owensboro Health offers excellent care for your entire family. Close to home in Grayson County with locations in Litchfield, Big Clifty, and Caneyville. Our primary care providers are experts in managing high blood pressure, diabetes, and other chronic conditions, so you can stay healthy and feel your best. Make an appointment today with one of our primary care providers at owensborohealth.org/primary care.
Your choice of lifestyle directly affects your health. And while there are many complex factors surrounding your lifestyle, sometimes the simple truth is that you just need to feel better. Well, rest assured, your feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know you and your lifestyle so we can provide sound advice on ways to improve your overall health. So whether your goal is to maintain a healthy lifestyle or overcome that untimely sickness, remember,
Your feel better starts here.
at Midway Pharmacy.
Beach Bend Park. That's where my summer happens.
It's where my family's come for generations for great times.
It's where amusement rides and water park slides are just my size.
It's where my friends and I have a blast on the big thrill rides.
It's where we can do all the attractions and not spend time in long lines.
Beach Bend Park has something for everyone, from classic amusement attractions the whole family can enjoy, children's rides, to big, fast, sky-reaching thrill rides. Plus, cool off with Splash Lagoon Water Park, where you can relax in the lazy river, ride the waves, and take the plunge on slides from mild to wild. Come to Beach Bend Park to create some memories, including fireworks back for Friday Night Lights in July. It's where you can have unlimited thrills with a 2023 season pass for just $74.99 with unlimited visits, a free souvenir cup, 2 anytime bring a friend free tickets, discounts, and more. For daily specials, birthday parties, and hours, visit beachbend.com.
Beach Bend Park. Fun for the whole family. Beach Bend Park.
Quality paves the way. That's the motto of Scotty's Contracting in Stone. All of the crushed stone products from Scotty's Quarry in Litchfield are mined underground. Scotty's Contracting and Paving provides cleaner products made from pure limestone. If you agree that quality makes the difference, contact the team at Scotty's Contracting in Stone for crushed stone products for your project at 259-5696. That's 259-5696. Our quarry is located on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
President Biden met with artificial intelligence experts yesterday in San Francisco.
We'll see more technological change in the next 10 years than we've seen in the last 50 years, and maybe even beyond that.
Ahead of the meeting, Biden told reporters he wants to hear directly from experts on the possibilities and risks associated with advancing AI technology. He said his administration is committed to safeguarding the rights of Americans as the technology progresses. The visit came as many in Washington were scrambling to regulate the technology. And the largest newspaper publisher in the country is suing Google. Virginia-based Gannett alleges Google holds a monopoly over digital advertising markets. Gannett, which publishes USA Today and more than 200 local publications, filed the lawsuit in a New York federal court. It argued that the tech giant controls how publishers buy and sell online ads. The lawsuit says it results in significantly less revenue for its rivals and publishers alike, while Google rakes in exorbitant monopoly profits. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield.
Today is Go Skateboarding Day. It's Peaches and Cream Day. I don't know if that's the corn.
Listen, I'll take any kind of peaches and cream you have.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Peaches with
it's
cream
not the
on it.
complexion nor the corn variety, but the real deal, peaches and cream. It is also World Giraffe Day. I thought you'd be excited about that.
Oh, I love giraffes.
And of course, it's the first day of summer. Not the first full day, but summer arrives here in 21 minutes if you are with us live. Now, it's not going to get super warm yet, feeling like summer. We're not going to get into we've been in the 90s. We've barely touched it, and we've not even really been in the high 80s a lot. But keep things cool in the day to, pick a window. You can spray have you heard of a swamp cooler?
I don't think so.
Spray a sheet with cold water, hang it in front of an open window, pick a window that has a breeze coming in, and it'll pick up the cool air, the water, and cool things down.
That's kind of cool.
You can put a bowl of ice in front of a fan.
No, okay.
You can go all Willie Nelson if you want to. Just do the bandana thing.
Hey, I think I found one
You did?
in your basket.
Oh yes, but that's a neck gaiter I noticed, and I've been needing one for mowing.
Okay, well, did you look at the back of it? It has multiple. It's like my sarong. You can wear it different ways.
It has multiple options.
Yes.
Okay, well I may go Willie Nelson on it, and make sure and hydrate this summer as well. So just a few tips as we get into the summer season. Last night we were the invited guests of one Matthew Porter for opening night of the final entry in the PNC Broadway Louisville series, the final of the 2022-2023 season, and it is the Harper Lee classic To Kill a Mockingbird as reimagined by Aaron Sorkin. And so it's an intersection of so many neat things involving you and I. One, you love the classics.
Yes.
You love Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. You love the name Harper.
I do.
One of the reasons that we love Harper Tall so much is
Yes.
because of her name. For me, obviously, it's a classic. It's one I, got to know. I also, as a high school student, after seeing it again last night, I was able to hearken back to my exposure to this the first time, and it was more influential on my ideology and my openness to those who maybe don't necessarily look like me than I would have never attributed my ability to embrace those who don't look like me. And when I saw it last night, I was like, that was more formative than I realized.
Yes.
The other additional thing before we get into the discussion is Aaron Sorkin is one of my favorite writers of all time. Some of the best television that I've ever viewed, in particular The West Wing, is an Aaron Sorkin product. So to see his imagining and his adaptation of this classic was interesting. What were your initial thoughts seeing it last night?
So I'm a purist in most things. I don't typically like recreations but I thought it was very well done. I don't know who's going to see it, but they start the play at the end of the book.
Yeah.
And kind of look back over it. They took some liberties with it, but I think those liberties were important to the audience. As you and I talked about it last night, so I've read this book multiple times, and
including in the last week.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. I read it just to refresh. I read it right before I finished it. Monday. So, when I was a literature buff in school, I took AP classes. I went on in college, and so for me, I had already read into or gained what Aaron Sorkin was able to educate the audience on, if that makes sense. So think about it like if you go to a book club and you've read the book and you had the discussion and other people bring in ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of, parallels or symbolism or whatever. Aaron Sorkin kind of feeds that to you in this.
he sussed out some of the backstory or some of the subtext?
The meaning.
Okay,
the meanings of it.
So you're saying, okay, so what the person who just reads it as an average reader or as required reading is going to get context.
Yes.
Aaron Sorkin introduced you to the subtext.
Absolutely.
Fair?
Yes. And probably what your literature teacher was hoping that you would gain from it, or that, a book club, or if you're a deep reader, or, a lot of people read because, it's a classic and I have to, and you just get that. You just get what it is as presented. But Aaron Sorkin was able to draw out what I would say is maybe things that your average reader would not have gleaned from just reading the book.
It was not lost on me, the subject matter, racism, and the eras that our country has gone through. Again, setting's 1934 in Alabama, so you can imagine. It was not lost on me that there we sat in a fragile community on opening night of this classic. Mm-hmm. And I guess in some level, the Louisville community is a little bit on eggshells because we've just lived through this era where Breonna Taylor is an international figure, and those wounds are not completely healed on any fronts. Right. And so that there was kind of almost a palpable type of feel to that last night in the theater. And so I thought in ways it was additionally an honor to be there. In fact, we can go back to the cast photo again. I want to point out something that was really neat. The actress playing Mrs. Henry Dubose.
And so if you've read the book, she's the mean old lady.
She is the mean old lady.
That is in the wheelchair.
She's played by Mary Badham. And she's top left-hand corner of your screen. Mary Badham played Scout in the movie starring Gregory Peck. And so tying together the adaptations and the iterations of this classic was also neat. And then, of course, Atticus Finch. I had desires to see Jeff Daniels play Atticus Finch on Broadway, and that kind of got COVID changed. And then Ed Harris, who I also love, played Atticus Finch. Then Richard Thomas, John Boy Walton, was playing Atticus Finch role, and then he's in the national tour of that. Well, I thought he did an excellent job.
I did too. That's the other thing that Aaron Sorkin did. When I read a book, and I think it's the same for most people, the way that Atticus handled himself, his in the book, he seems a lot more subdued. Like, so the play did portray him as, because when he's talking to Mary Ellen and refers to her as Miss or Ma'am, but the book portrays him as more of a quieter man, not as boisterous, but the play does pull in his politeness. The judge, hilarious in the play, not as funny in the book.
Yeah.
I really had hoped that we would get to see the judge chew up the cigar. That is a classic part of the book, and it's not necessarily that important, but I think even your most devout classic, reader would have enjoyed the play and the spin on that he did on it.
The humor is good.
Yes, the humor is good.
That's the Aaron Sorkin influence.
And Dill in the play, in the book, he is not funny.
Yeah, he's kind of a show stealer.
He really is, and I enjoyed what they did with Dill.
Yeah.
And there again, if you are a purist, the jury was not out for 36 minutes in the book or 37 minutes.
Right.
They were out for much longer than that.
And I don't want to reveal it because I want everybody.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, not that part. I don't want to. If you're able to see it, the way that Sorkin imagined the jury, there's something significant about the jury that is an Aaron Sorkin adaptation, or decision that is even different from the Gregory Peck movie. And so anyway, it was just, there's a lot to digest, a lot to chew up. By the way, they didn't dodge any of the language.
No.
All the language is exactly
They did
the way
not.
that you would imagine in 1934, which was hard.
And Scout was phenomenal.
Yeah, she did a good job.
I mean, phenomenal.
Well, thanks for being my date.
Well, thanks for taking me.
And thanks to Matt Porter and everybody at PNC Series and Broadway Series and the Kentucky Center. If you get a chance, it's there for the next few days. It's worth your time. So
Well, and if you can't do that, pick up the book and read it.
yeah, do that as well. You
Yes,
can get
and
that.
let me know.
You can get that at your Grayson County Public Library and wherever books are sold, I'm sure. All right, so a couple more things this segment to get to. Much to what I would have believed to be the opposite. A new study shows that yellow cars depreciate the slowest. I always thought that it would be the opposite. I find yellow to be a very specific color, sort of like a purple color. And when you make that decision, to me, it's like a regret color. We saw a Lamborghini last night that was yellow.
Yes.
And I like the Lamborghini, but I wouldn't want a yellow one. I would want a different color one. So do you believe yellow cars depreciate the slowest?
Well, I mean, if that's what it says.
Well,
I
now
mean,
we don't
the
believe
internet,
we don't
the internet
believe
doesn't lie,
We
right?
don't believe all studies, do we? Something you will not be surprised to learn: taking a nap during the day can leave you feeling refreshed, recharged, and ready to take on the world. Now, research suggests it could be good for your brain too.
Amen.
A study which analyzed data from people aged 40 to 69 has shown daytime napping could slow the rate at which the brain shrinks as we age. The average difference in brain volume between habitual nappers and those who were not was equivalent to 2.6 to 6.5 years of aging.
Well, I'm all for it.
Also this time of year, when you get out early and you work and you get warmed up and you, at the heat of the day, have some lunch and then go back in and
Take a
cool
rest.
off and then get back out in the afternoon when conditions get a little bit better. So you don't have to have a full-fledged nap, just, kind of.
Well, they say even a 15-minute nap is just as reviving or invigorating. For me, I call crap on that.
That's
but.
like having one. That's like having one potato chip. I'm
Yeah.
not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to nap.
Nor am I.
I'm not going to nap for 15 minutes. A Florida man traded 4 wheels for 4 hooves on his journey to getting his caffeine fix in Cape Coral. So people were at the Starbucks on Surfside Boulevard in Cape Coral when they spotted a horse going through the drive-thru. And apparently it wasn't his first rodeo. The horse was scared when the loud trucks came by and the rider had to keep calming him down. There is a horse place close by, so that's where they came from. We wouldn't pay any attention to this in Kentucky, would we? See a guy
don't
on a
think
horse
so.
at a drive-through window? It might catch your attention because you don't see it every day, but here in horse country, you kind of go, well, that's just how it happens.
Did you all
in
talk
horse
about
country.
the runaway horse and buggy in Edmonson County yesterday?
No,
Well, it didn't
was-
happen yesterday. It happened over the weekend, but
I was unaware of that.
oh, okay. Well, I'll find out more and relay it to you tomorrow.
Sounds like a scene from Little House on the
Well,
Prairie. The
so,
buckboard got
Our
away.
friends in Windyville, she had posted about it. So the Liches. So
Yes.
I'll get more information and share tomorrow. But apparently it was quite the debacle.
Oh, yeah. We'll be looking forward to hearing about that. And we have an ongoing theme on the show about rude plane passengers kicking your seat or putting your feet up or taking your shoes off or eating stinky foods. Here's one that's kind of puzzling. It was inventive in-flight entertainment, but not everyone was amused. A plane passenger has divided public opinion after using a film projector to play a movie for fellow travelers on the overhead bin surface above him. So they now have these little miniature battery-powered film projectors.
Okay.
And so he decided that he didn't have a screen to watch, so he would just project it onto the overhead bin. There was no accompanying audio, but he turned the subtitles on so other passengers in the area could read, and it was Mel Gibson's The Patriot.
You know how weird I am about flying, but this doesn't bother me for some reason. When you said that there are no audio and the subtitles, I mean,
You can choose to look or you can not look.
Right.
You can
do your own thing
But
or
the
look
thing
up at that.
did wonder is sometimes even though on a flight, if I'm watching something particularly violent or something that I'm not sure is like they might sneak something in on the content, sometimes I'm worried about if there are kids sitting in my general area. So portions of the Patriot are pretty violent. I mean, they're accurate, but they're violent.
Right.
So
Well, that's true.
I don't know. You got to be careful about what
Future content, yeah.
what content you're projecting up there. But otherwise, you might be entertaining somebody that it was otherwise going to be bored.
Or a talker.
That's right. You got a chance to win. Coming up, we're going to ask you what your favorite movie lines are. So be prepared to share those with us. Coming up here on In the Know.
Living in your ideal home, or is it still a dream? Future Designs Building Materials can help you turn your dreams into reality with atrium windows that will make the sun look brighter, roofing material that will keep your home protected year-round, and decking material for that perfect barbecue setting. Now is the perfect time to get your home improvement project off the ground. Got questions? Future Designs Building Materials can help with all your lumber and home improvement questions. Visit Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield or fdbm.net.
Congratulations! You're gonna be a mom, and we're here to help every adorably tiny step of the way. Now, expectant and new mothers up to 1 year are eligible for no-cost health coverage through K-CHIP or Medicaid. Just visit us at connect.ky.gov/K-CHIP to qualify and enroll. Then sit back and relax for a minute, okay? You've got enough going on.
Doors take us to summers away or winter adventures and afternoon getaways. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by working with you on a comprehensive plan to help you reach your wealth's full potential. Because doors were meant to be opened. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimum supply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Shannon the Dude. Summertime is finally here, and as traffic increases, the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety reminds all road users to pay attention and watch out for each other. Following the rules of the road and these simple steps can help save lives. So remember to buckle up every trip, every time. Put the phone down if you're driving, walking, or riding a bike or motorcycle. And safety is a shared responsibility. So enjoy your summer and be safe, Kentucky. A message from the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Well, it's mostly yucky outside, and it's going to stay that way for the rest of the afternoon. General rain showers, occasionally a heavy downpour will pass through. Use caution traveling around town. Most of the rain will ease back in coverage later this afternoon. That's when temperatures will have a chance to jump up into the upper 70s. And then for tonight, isolated shower possible, mid-60s for overnight lows. For the Wave Storm Tracking Team, I'm Brian Good.
Today's Did You Know is brought to you by our friends at ECTC's Litchfield campus, where they are in the middle of their summer term, of course, but that means all eyes are on the fall and getting your financial aid lined out.
Yes.
Work with Bobby. Bobby, get you all sorted out.
We just love Bobby.
That's right. And then you get your class schedule, you get your financial aid figured out, and then you can be ready to hit things headlong and get back on an educational track. You're never too old to go back. No matter what your life has thrown at you, you got plenty of time. It's real college for the real world, and it's right here at home. ECTC's Litchfield campus, where they ask, did you know China has only one time zone? So we have...
as large as it is, I
large
guess
as it is.
that one time zone.
We have four primary ones. You get to the extreme portions of Maine, and you get into what called the Atlantic time zone, and even portions of the territories of the U.S. are in the have some of the Atlantic, but then you got the Pacific. Then, of course, you've got Hawaiian time, which is completely different. But for the mainland, you've got 4 primary time zones. China is also similarly horizontal in shape. So imagine for us if we had one time zone, and it would be weird where the 10 o'clock news that we know at night or the late night shows would be 4 hours earlier or later than what you're accustomed to them
I'm
being.
not educated well enough to, so it's hard to put into perspective. But for me, yeah, I see what you're saying, but China's pretty smart, right? What would it not be a positive thing to only have one? Easier? I don't know. Again, I'm not educated in this, so
our time zones are just slivered around the globe based
I find
upon
them frustrating.
Around the rotation. You find it frustrating because you live close to the line.
Yes.
If you live in the middle of one, you don't pay any attention to it. But we're always jumping back and forth along the line, and it presents a bit of a challenge.
It's like, falling back or, when we have to do that time change. Like, can we not just leave it all alone?
Yeah.
It's similar.
I will say, between living near a time zone line and the springing forward and the falling back twice a year, there does seem to be a lot of pulleys and levers and things that are
too much to think about.
In motion. Here's your chance to win today. We're going to give away Holiday World tickets to one lucky winner. You're going to text your answer to 270-259-6000. There's no correct answer. We'll just draw from all of the entries because I want to know this. What's your favorite movie line? What's your favorite line from a movie? Text the answer to 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. It's the summer blockbuster season, and we've been talking about movies this morning, and I want to know your favorite movie line, and we'll draw from all the winners. By the way, if you've not won in the last 30 days, you or your household, and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win. So text your answer to 270-259-6000. I don't know the closest Cinemark theater that we have, but the Summer Movie Clubhouse is back at Cinemark. They are offering $1.50 tickets for The Minions this week, Sonic the Hedgehog next week, on the week of July 5th, Mummies. The week after that, The Bad Guys, then Paws of Fury, then DC League of Super Pets, Lyle Crocodile, first week of August, and Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, August 9th.
Listen, if you've not seen Lyle Crocodile, go.
Okay.
Go.
Cinemark has 317 theaters and nearly 4,400 screens in 42 states. So there's probably one nearby.
There's a chance, but I do know that Bowling Green and E-Town often offer a dollar movie type thing too, so you may check it, just their website.
I think sometimes at the State Theater and some other like non-typical movie places also do that from time to time. Katy Perry is marking the anniversary of her first 3 albums with a new box set, and it includes unreleased music. So One of the Boys turned 15 this month, Teenage Dreams turns 13 in August, and Prism turns 10 in October, and she has built a new box set. I guess box sets are a thing again.
Interesting.
I haven't bought a box set in probably nearly at least 15 years.
I bought one in the last 6 weeks.
You did?
I did.
I don't know this story.
No, you don't.
Wicked Part 2 moves up its release in theaters to Thanksgiving of 2025. So if you're scoring at home, keep track of that. I learned last night Wicked will open the 23-24 PNC Broadway series, then followed by Frozen, then followed by Clue, then Tina. Tina Turner was in there. And Beetlejuice is also in the series. So it's going to be a great season there. So we were talking about, let's see, who's going to go to this one?
Who gets to do this? Who has to do that one? Who's taking?
By the way, for those of you who are officially scoring at home, when I asked her to go to Kill a Mockingbird, first question was, is it a musical?
Exactly.
I was like, absolutely not.
Because I'm like, please don't ruin this for me. Like, I love the book. I cannot handle it in musical form.
Ed Sheeran has been named the United Kingdom's most played artist of the year again. No surprise, he edged out Dua Lipa. Harry Harry Styles was also in there. Elton John was in there. Coldplay was in there. Taylor Swift also at number 10 in the United Kingdom.
I just don't know what it is about him. I mean,
How about Mr. Sheeran?
yeah, he's okay. I don't get all excited though.
He's a really great composer. I think is one of the things. And then I was reading the list of songs of the summer. The song of 2023 is still to be determined on what the summer is, but I did get a quick list of songs of the summer. I was going to try and play some of them for you, but I think we've kind of run out of time. But going back to 2013, so going back a dozen years, the song of 2013 for the summer was Blurred Lines.
Okay.
Everybody get up.
I love it.
Fancy in 2024 with 2014. That was Iggy Azalea. Cheerleader, Omi in 2015.
It's funny when you said fancy, all I thought of was Reba.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
One Dance, Drake, WizKid, and Kyla in 16. Despacito in 2017. In My Feelings, Drake in 2018. Old Town Road in 19. Rockstar, DaBaby and Roddy Ricch in 2020. Good For You, Olivia Rodrigo in 2021. Do you remember last year, the 2022 song of the summer?
I've slept.
Harry Styles, As It
there
Was.
we go.
As
Okay.
It Was. As It Was.
Okay, I'm going to need that piece of paper too.
Oh, you're going to need the songs of the summer?
yes.
Okay. You're needing a lot of paper this
I know.
morning. Okay, we'll get it over there to you. We'll look at your favorite movie lines. We've also got chart toppers, Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, and more coming up here on In the Know.
Even when it's about you, it's not all about you. Your success is just as much about the people who taught you, coached you, and motivated you to push ahead when things got tough. Few organizations understand that as well as the National Hockey League. Their trophy celebration is unique in the way it honors the friends, families, and coaches of winning teams. In most professional sports, the winning team is awarded a replica of the official trophy. In hockey, there's only one Stanley Cup, and every season, last year's champion surrenders it to this year's champion. The most unique tradition associated with the 130-year-old Stanley Cup is that each member of the winning team gets to enjoy a day with the cup all to himself. The NHL recognized that winning a championship isn't just an accomplishment for the player. It's a victory that's shared by every person who helped the player achieve success along the way. So, each member of the winning team gets the opportunity to share the legendary trophy with his wife and children, his parents, his childhood coaches, his supportive friends, all the people who helped him mature, develop, and learn how to win. No one becomes a champion in their sport, in their career, or even in their marriage and family on their own. Every success story, including yours, requires a large cast of influential characters. For more to help you thrive, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 888-SHARE-19. That's 888-SHARE-19. 888-SHARE-19.
Congratulations! You're gonna be a mom, and we're here to help every adorably tiny step of the way. Now, expectant and new mothers up to 1 year are eligible for no-cost health coverage through K-CHIP or Medicaid. Just visit us at connect.ky.gov/K-CHIP to qualify and enroll. Then sit back and relax for a minute, okay? You've got enough going on.
doors take us to summers away or winter adventures and afternoon getaways. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by working with you on a comprehensive plan to help you reach your wealth's full potential, because doors were meant to be opened. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimum supply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
MB's point to ponder for today. So my cousin Rachel has this seasonal board in their home where at the beginning of every season they make the equivalent of their seasonal bucket list.
Yes.
So my question is, what's on your summer bucket list here on the first day of summer? What is on your summer bucket list? Sing Don't Stop Believing in a crowd of people. That's always fun to do. Like you go to a game or go to the Big Bang or whatever and people sing that song together.
Big Bang. No, I could add that one to my board.
All right. What do you have on your summer bucket list?
I don't know. I mean, we are getting one thing off of the list today. So
Sleepover?
A sleepover.
All right.
You know, go to the beach, of course. You know, I want to do some creek playing. We're going to rock painting. Nothing major. I don't have I want to watch my garden come to fruition and produce fruit and
You already been to the
vegetables.
aquatic center, but I presume you'll be again.
Yes. So, I don't know.
Okay.
Is that not enough?
You can check See Venus and See Mars off your list after tonight,
I hope
probably.
so,
That'd be
yes.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Listen, you all blew our doors off on all these great movie lines. So I'm just going to kind of hit some of the high spots. I have a need for speed. Somebody's playing to my. Of course, that's from Top Gun. I don't know from Ridiculous 6. Why do I have 3 nipples? It's not a line, but it makes me. It's not a line I know, but it makes me laugh.
Why do I have 3 nipples?
That's what it says. I can't verify
Chandler has 3 nipples.
that. Yes, I'm aware. I'll be your Huckleberry. I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah.
From Tombstone. I am Groot. Here's somebody else who's pandering to me. I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. That's one of
I can't believe I haven't heard mine yet.
E.T. Phone Home is in there.
That's a good one.
I am your father. Better out than in.
Oh, dear.
By the way, Kathy, she threw a cuss word in there. She went the old, frankly, my dear. She gave the old Rhett Butler line. Frankly, my dear.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, make my day. Kicking it old school. Let's see. From Almost Famous, Sweetie, You Are Home. That's a good get. Some of my other favorites on there, I think they're on the list too. The one that always comes to mind for me is from Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Okay.
I don't know why that's the one that immediately comes to mind about movie lines, but my entire life is spoken in movie lines.
Of course, mine is Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner.
That's right.
I can't believe we didn't see that.
I can't believe. Well,
I know.
And I didn't.
There was so many to
I didn't
go
go through the
through.
entire list, but
it's a lot.
So I got to pick between what? 1 and what?
1 and 65.
65. I'll pick 60. All right.
Okay.
60 will get a text. Sam is working on another project
Sam will have
this morning,
to do that.
so he'll figure. Congratulations to 60. We'll figure that out. You'll get a text from us, by the way. All right, on television tonight, L.A. Fire and Rescue on NBC. It's the premiere. On HBO, The Stroll. On HGTV, Holmes Family Rescue. The Holmes team gathers to, that's HOLMES, teams gather to talk about their electrician friend Frank, who's overwhelmed with his renovation due to health issues. So
Okay.
HGTV branching out into a little scripted, unscripted drama, or who knows?
Not
Today's highlight in history, this date in 1788, the United States Constitution went into effect as New Hampshire became the 9th state to ratify it. In 1377, King Edward III died after ruling England for 50 years. He was succeeded by his grandson, Richard II. In 1834, Cyrus Hall McCormick received a patent for his reaping machine. In 1982, a jury in D.C. found John Hinckley Jr. not guilty by reason of insanity in the shootings of President Reagan and 3 other men. In 1989, a sharply divided Supreme Court ruled that burning the American flag as a form of political protest was protected by the First Amendment. Being a senior in high school at that time, well, actually, I just graduated from high school, it puzzled me. This ruling by the Supreme Court, it just puzzled me on how the Supreme Court could say burning the flag was okay. It just felt like, no, you can't do that. But the longer I studied it and the older I got, I realized I would never choose to do it. But the flag we are protected under with our Constitution gives us the freedom to do that if we're boneheaded enough to do it. So I still think you shouldn't do it, by the way. Actor Bernie Kopell is 90. Bernie Kopell played Doc on The Love Boat. Marriott Hartley is 83. Meredith Baxter, used to be Meredith Baxter Bernie, is 76. And it's always been interesting. Meredith Baxter and Michael Gross played husband and wife on Family Ties, starring Michael J. Fox. They were both born on the same day. They're both 76 years of age today. So they came to be co-workers when they became adults. Joey Kramer, the drummer of Aerosmith, is 73. Kathy Mattea is 64. Juliette Lewis is 50. Chris Pratt is 44. He's been in Kentucky recently. Britain's Prince William is 41, and Lana Del Rey, the singer, is 38. Not to be confused with Marina Del Rey. Jean-Paul Sartre in 1905. O.C. Smith in 1932. He did. He had that Little Green Apple song, that, in addition to others. God, it don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime. All right, let's go to 1953 is where we're trying to go. Eddie Fisher, number 1. I'm walking behind you.
Behind you on your wedding day.
Oh, by the way, I had a note about my board today. Peace cometh in the morning. That's a To Kill a Mockingbird reference.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go to the show and find out why I wrote Peace Cometh in the Morning on the on the board. 1962, Ray Charles.
I've made up my mind.
Because I'm 90% sure you won't find out in the book.
Yeah, that was that's kind of what I thought too.
Yep.
I didn't have the refresher, so I was relying upon you. So there were a couple of things like that didn't happen that way, right?
Yeah.
Also, I don't know that we mentioned it. There was some character consolidation for purposes of getting some key elements in. So there was, but it doesn't ruin it.
No, it was well done. It was well done.
Clea, is that right? Cleo?
The one that I said that I liked that wasn't in there, Miss Maud.
No, the other one though that they attributed some of her.
Oh, Calpurnia.
Cal, not Clea. Yeah, Cal. She did a good job.
Yes, she does.
Carole King, It's Too Late, number 1 in 1971.
And she's another character that they gave humor to that really made it interesting, because in the book, Calpurnia, she's to be not humorous.
Right. Let's go to 1980. Lip Sync and Funky Town, number 1. I don't think this is the original.
It's all right. It still has a beat.
Maybe it is. I don't know. All right, and let's go to, I deliberately made sure to include the New Kids on the Block from 1989. with I'll Be Loving You Forever.
Listen, I still wish I could find that t-shirt somewhere.
Alanis Morissette, Uninvited in 98. Umbrella, Rihanna in 07. And Justin Timberlake, Can't Stop the Feeling, #1 7 years ago today. All right, MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, keep your face to the sunshine and you will never see the shadows. Keep your face to the sunshine and you will never see the shadows. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on K105.